Hi, I'm Gary Richards.
Hello, I'm Leon Lacouvé, the grandfather.
And we are Gary and...
The grandfather.
Wow, so what are we going to talk about today?
You got that? Well, first of all,
yeah.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. All the best, right?
Yeah.
And to all and everyone who's listening to us, Happy New Year as well, right?
Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So I thought today, we could talk about our New Year's resolutions.
Resolutions.
Right? Yeah,
I like that.
Our New Year promises. One of my students, Gary, was saying today that they say the same thing every year and they never complete them.
Oh, really?
Never do it, right?
So
So last year I had 3 New Year's resolutions and I completed 2 of them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm quite proud of myself. I completed 2. So, and this year I actually have virtually the same resolutions as last year. Right?
Okay.
So last year my resolutions were: 1, I wanted to improve everything. Absolutely everything. I wanted to improve my praying. I wanted to improve my relationships with my children, my relationships with my students, and I wanted to work harder, right? Accomplish more. And I think I did. It was a good year. 2021 was a good year. The second resolution was I wanted to finish my second book. And the second book has now been finished, and it's in translation. We're almost 2/3 of the way finished with the second translation, right? The second draft. But the third resolution, I apologize. The third resolution was the real killer. The third resolution was improve my Chinese.
Okay, and why do you want to improve your Chinese?
Well, because my Chinese is not very good.
But why Chinese and not French, or like what draws you towards Chinese language?
Well, I think that Chinese. I speak French. My French is pretty good.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I speak Polish. My Polish is not bad either. And so I think that the Chinese is an international language, and it would be, I think, an interesting one to get some handle on, basically. And just maybe I will have to learn Chinese anyhow, if you know what I mean.
Oh, really? So Chinese?
Yeah.
Do you speak Chinese? Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, how about you? What are your...
真的吗？你会中文吗？
我可以说一点点。
我也会中文。
我也会中文。And that's it. Dlaczego twoje oczy są tak romantyczne? That's Polish. Why are your eyes so romantic? Remember this great phrase. How about you? What are your resolutions?
Oh, well, it's kind of funny. Talk about the resolutions. Well, I also have similar resolutions as to last year. One of mine is just to be more active, okay? Get a bit more fit. That last year I did some strength training over this past year. I thought really helped. But I think this new year, I want to slim down a bit, just lose a bit of the extra weight, focus on just being a bit more active, living a healthier lifestyle. So that would be one of them. I think it's one of those things. I think for a lot of people, that a lot of people set this goal to lose weight or whatever. It's their New Year's resolution. I think a lot of people fail at this goal because it's not because they hate exercise or it's too difficult or whatever. I think the problem is people, and this could be with any resolution, we live in a world where people want it now.
So true.
And So it's just small things. For example, I always stay up late. I I I don't exercise as much as I'd like. I tend to try to get out and cycle 3 times a week, for example. It's the things like that.
Yeah. Stop the whiskey.
Yeah, I'm not much of a whiskey guy, but yeah, you know, it's those types of things. Where
My New Year's resolution, I'm only going to drink 1 bottle of whiskey a day, not 2. I'm going to cut her back, man. And I'm going to give up the big cigars. I'm going to smoke only 1 cigarette a minute.
yeah, I think that's the thing though, that we want it now, but it's more like a running a marathon. You know, you need to just keep. You need to set smaller
routine, right?
Yeah, routine, smaller goals that lead towards the bigger,
Yeah.
the bigger goal.
Yeah.
So for me, maybe that's my New Year's resolution. One of them, but probably I would say, okay, by spring, I want to be at such level. By summer, something else. And so that's my first one. My second one is also, it goes back to what you said about languages. Interestingly enough, I also have a strange fascination with Chinese.
Bonjour.
And but for me, I want to what's the word?
Remember.
No, not remember. Maybe I should improve my English, but I want to probably improve my vocabulary set, because I'm already conversational in Chinese. I know a lot of the characters.
No.
I can read the characters, a lot of them, but my vocabulary set is a bit. It's not as robust as what I would like it to be. So I'd like to fluff that out a bit, and I already bought some books and I'm working through them.
Good for you, Gary.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. So that's my interest.
I had an interesting sort of New Year's resolution presented to me yesterday.
Okay.
One little girl, one of my students, she said, I want to get smarter.
Smart.
And I said to her, well, you know, you can't get smarter, because at 12 years old, you're already formed, and now you're 15. You can't get smarter. You can get more knowledgeable, you know, but you cannot get smarter. And I thought to myself, another little girl said, what's your New Year's resolution? I want to visit my idol. And I said, well, you're your own idol, right? She said, no, I want to visit my idol. And I realized 2 things. One, that the one young girl didn't realize that she was already smart as she wanted to be. And the other girl didn't realize that she could build her knowledge base. The girl who wanted to visit her idol could be an idol, literally, if she desired to be an idol. It's just work. Just, you know, Gary, yourself, it's just work. Put in the work. Put in the time. But most people don't. Now the idols, to be fair, Korean idols in particular, I mean, these poor kids are selected. In a way, they go into idol camp. Many of them, you know, they join the idol business. They're selected to be idols, and they only have a very short lifespan, so they better make a lot of money. But they're not, I don't think they're remembered myself. In 3 years' time, their new crop is there, you know. It's a horrible way to live, personally, you know. Very, very fatuous, right? But they've caught a lot of young people in their nonsense, right? They have. A lot of young people imagine that this is something, a precious lifestyle, right? Very, very wrong, I think.
Well, I think it's one of those things that I think a lot of people they only see the fun parts of it. Like, you know, we've talked about it before that, well, that I have a band, and we enjoy playing music and things like that. I think for a lot of younger people, they to be an idol or be the star or be for a lot of guys to be in the rock band and be the next Beatles or the next Rolling Stones, and you have all of the the women surrounding you and the popularity, the money, the cars, the drugs, the booze, the whole thing. That
I want to be an idol too and a rock and roll
and
star.
I think it really appeals to people because they think, wow, I could have this and that and the other thing. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people they come to realize, yeah, even if I did have, even if I were the on that level of or ability that came to my technique or whatever, I wouldn't want it anyways. I think when people get a bit older, mature a bit, then they realize that it really isn't the lifestyle that
They want.
yeah.
Well, the BBC is running a series of articles on the anti-rich. This is a movement now that people are against watching television programs that glorify the rich.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like it. So the trend is over. Because apparently there was a huge amount of people used to follow, kind of like the Game of Thrones, if you will. They used to follow these magnificently powerful, good-looking people, but people say that people increasingly are saying to themselves, this is nonsense, it's just not true to begin with, right? So why do I want to be a part of this, right?
Well, yeah, I think that a lot of people, they realize that it really is just fake. It's fake, it's bollocks, it's not, it's nothing, it's not the reality. And once you start to realize that and see what's actually involved, then, yeah, like you said, they lose interest in this.
Did you find with your students, Gary, that a lot of, today I had a lot of young New Year's resolutions, class of 30 kids. I would say 20% of the girls, their New Year's resolution, if it wasn't lose weight, it was I want a boyfriend. Right? I want a boyfriend. I said, have you ever had a boyfriend? And they said, no. I said, well, you know about boys. And they, what? I said, boys are bad. And they look at me like, really? Because they see me as that old, grandfather figure, right?
Yeah.
Boys are bad,
Yeah,
and then, and so then some of the boys said the same thing, and I said, you know what? What? Girls are bad. And they, what? Why? So you don't know? No, I don't know. I said, girls are bad.
Oh, don't ruin it
You
for
know?
her.
And then I said, class, boys and girls are bad. When you fall in love, it's like going to India. You hear a lot about it, but when you get there, it's totally different. It was, and they were like, really? No, it was very cute, very funny.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
funny stuff. Our kids, eh?
Well, that's what. Yeah, they gotta. You can tell them as much as you can, but they won't understand until they experience it, and then they'll look back at you and say, "Oh, now I understand what the grandfather was trying to tell me. I totally get it."
My youngest son, when he was about 2 years old, got this idea that he could put a wire into a plug-in. He was continuously looking for a wire to put into a plug-in, and I would say to him, Darcy, please don't put that wire. I don't know where he got the wire from. He was always very resourceful. Please don't put that into a plug-in. That's very, very dangerous. Maybe there's a man doing some construction or something in one of the rooms of the house or whatever. So I kept telling him this, and then this one time I was in the living room, and I heard this this horrible sound, and I went around the corner, and I kid you not, Gary, his hair, the boy's hair was like this.
Oh no.
He stuck the wire into the into the socket and got a real shock. And you know what? You know what? He never did it again.
Well, how old was he?
Two, I think.
Two.
Never
He was
did.
lucky he didn't die.
Oh, lucky. Yeah.
Very lucky.
Because I was wiring a lamp once in the same house, and I touched the wire and it blew me across the table. The shock, the electric shock. It was like powerful. So it would be hard on the child. But maybe that's the way we all, we talk about New Year's resolutions. Maybe that's the way we all learn. We promise ourselves it's going to go a certain direction, but in reality, it never goes that way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know about you, but oh man, I'm feeling quite sleepy.
Are you?
Yeah, I think I need to head out.
Head home. You got to head home.
Yeah, I better head home.
Yeah, well, that's why you need whiskey, Gary. I know, but been a long day for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swore off that years ago.
Yeah, I know.
That's not good for you.
No, I know. I don't drink either anymore. Gave it up. But I think all those things are. I'll leave you with this thought: New Year's resolutions. I think that we should enjoy life to the fullest, but we should know when we have to stop certain things. That should be the resolution, that we learn, and when we've learned enough, we stop it.
Mm.
Be it may whiskey or smoking or other things that we can't discuss right here, right? So I'm going to go.
Okay, me
Okay.
too. Okay. Good night, everyone.
I'm going to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you. And this is from
Gary and
the grandfather.
grandfather. Good
God
night,
bless. Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye bye.